All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit, and this concept, I got to give you a chance to get to my deck. Make sure you can see it. All right, can you see the presentation?
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to talk about now is really personal growth and development, and this is a couple of items that I just want you to really think about. And these are things that if you got something to write down, it's probably good to write a couple down just to think through them. But we'll get to the deck as well. But there's this thing called growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And it's a book by Carolyn Dweck, and she's pretty solid. She's been at this since middle of 1900s, in 1992, I mean. And the concept here is really understanding what mindset you have and how a fixed mindset stops you from being creative. And there's a story. They go to these students, these kids who are in the third grade, and they give them these puzzles, and they're easy puzzles. And when they finish the puzzle, they go, "Great job! Everybody did a great job, great work, etc." And then they gave them another puzzle, and they said, "Great job, great work, great job." And then after they gave them two puzzles, they said, "Okay, now we have some very difficult puzzles here." And the kids could look at the puzzles and realize, "Wait a minute, I may not be able to do that one." And the kids with the fixed mindset stayed away from it, but the kids with the growth mindset said, "Hey, I will try it." Now, the reason the fixed mindset stayed away is because they didn't want to fail. They had already succeeded. They already got their praise, and they didn't want to fail, so they didn't go try the hard ones. But the growth mindset didn't care about failing or being successful. They wanted the opportunity. They wanted the challenge. They wanted to push themselves. And so what I want to talk about today for you all is that growth mindset. I want you to develop and push yourselves and always look for the next challenge. And you may get it wrong. You may not do well. You may fail. It's okay. You're 15, 16, 17, 18. Get out there, make a chance, take a challenge and try the hard stuff, because the ones who did the hard stuff, they followed these kids for 3 years. They were leaps and bounds ahead of their fixed mindset counterparts, because the counterparts were trying to make sure they got it right every time, whereas the growth people were just trying to explore. They were getting it right, but it wasn't about getting it right and somebody telling them they did a great job. It was about the experience of trying something difficult. So let's look at this. Your qualities, intelligence, personality, moral character are carved in stone, creates an urgency to prove oneself over and over again. It's carved in stone. I got to just do it over and over again. I got to make sure everybody likes me. I got to make sure that people say I'm great. People say I'm good. The fixed mindset, that's the fixed mindset. Growth is your basic qualities are things you can cultivate and develop through your efforts. Creates a desire to grow and improve. So if you make an 84 on a test and a fixed mindset and you think you're supposed to make a 90 or 95, you go, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I failed that test. I did not do great. I did not do well. I'm struggling." A growth mindset states, "Okay, you know what? I made an 84. What did I do? What can I do better? What can I learn more of? What can I work harder at?" I'm not worried about the 84. I'm worried that I only put in an hour of studying when I should have put in 4 hours of studying. And that's a growth mindset. So you didn't fail. You just didn't put the process in that you needed to. And so let's look at some of the qualities of the comparisons. Fixed mindsets, they avoid challenges, stick to what they know well. Growth mindset embraces challenges, overcomes challenges, makes you stronger and smarter. Now, everyone on this call has a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. What I want you all to do is lean more towards your growth mindset. A good example. How many of you all try new foods? And then how many of you don't try new foods, right? Some of you on the call will try anything that comes in front of you. Others are like, "Hey, no, I'm good." Leave that alone, right? That's a fixed mindset versus a growth. All right. Obstacles. When something gets in your way, you give up easily. You encounter obstacles. You're like, "Oh, I guess too much. I can't do that." I want you to run an 8-minute mile. And someone's like, "I can't run 8 minutes." You just give up. The other one is, you know what? I'm going to keep working until I get an 8-minute mile. And if I don't get the 8-minute mile, I'll be in better shape anyway. That's the growth mindset. Effort. See, effort is unpleasant and fruitless. The need for effort is low, a sign of low ability. So you don't want to put the work in. You just want it to come easy. You want it to come naturally. And you know that if you play sports and you're a pretty high competitor, or if you're academically strong, you see people who they get frustrated when they can't get it. They don't want to put the effort in, and they make excuses, right? "Oh, I didn't even really try." My godson said the best thing to me ever. My godson now, he's in the military. He's got his life together. He actually told me something when he was in high school. I said, why aren't your grades better? He told me, he said, Godfather, I know all the answers. I know everything. I don't know why I'm in school. I already know everything. And my response, well, if you know everything, just go in and take the test and make 100. Why won't you just write the answers down, right? Devin, you hear me, right? If he knows everything, just go to class and write all the answers and go to sleep. He's like, well, I'd rather sleep. I go, but if you know everything, just write the answers down and then sleep. And obviously he didn't know it, but he didn't want to put the effort in, because if he put the effort in and didn't do it, he thought he failed. And that's not a good thing. That's a fixed mindset. The effort over here, you see effort as a path to growth and mastery, right? Effort is so important. And catch yourself when you're not doing something well and it doesn't come out right. Really, really evaluate yourself. Did I really put the effort into this, or did I just kind of half do this? And if you're honest with yourself and you half did it, you know, you'll stop. You'll stop. Criticism. Oh, criticism is the best. You ignore useful criticism if you got a fixed mindset and you see negative feedback as an insult. No, you seek feedback. You want criticism. You know, one of the best things is when you're in class and you get something wrong and your students criticize you and the teacher tells you how to do it right and you learn from that. You just moved a step up, because you take their criticism and you use that as knowledge. And now you're getting stronger, you're getting better. Whereas they get criticism, they bundle up. And when they bundle up and they take it as negative, they don't try to learn from it. I remember I used to get back in the days, we got our evaluations on pieces of paper. And I used to read an evaluation. And if it was negative, I would read it. And I'd look at it. I got to do a different piece of paper because I need this one. I look at it, I read it. I think about it. I read it again. And it's negative, it's real negative. I go, all right, got it. And I ball it up and I put it in the trash can. But you see what I did? I actually processed it. I said, is what they're saying right? Does it make sense? I always have a journal next to me. I'm taking notes, but I'm always looking. I want feedback, negative or positive. I get to choose if I'm going to think it's going to be personal or not. If it's real negative and I don't agree with it at all, I ball it up. If it's really good or negative and I know I can fix it, I write it down and I ball it up. I don't keep negative feedback, but I take the words I need from it, right, Joshua? And I learn from it and I grow. Because criticism, most of the time people giving you criticism are not criticizing you. They're trying to help you to be stronger and be better, okay? Success of others, feel threatened by success of others. Don't get into that. We want to look and see how did people become successful. Find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. If you're in class or if you're running or if you're doing anything and somebody was able to make 100, you're like, man, that is awesome. Tell me how you did that. What did you do? And they don't get mad, Noah, when they come and say, oh, I didn't do anything. I just showed up and took the test. Just, you know, don't strangle them. Don't strangle them. Just say, hey, well, what did you do before that? You know, how did you, oh, you know, I listened in class. Okay, but let's learn from them, right? And really figure out how they got there. Or they may tell you, oh, this is my 3rd time taking this class. I already know all the material. You're like, oh, okay. But learn, you know, when somebody's successful, you want to congratulate them and you want to figure out how they became successful, right? You don't want to be envious. You want to see if somebody, I'm gonna use this guy. We got all guys on the call. If a guy has the prettiest girl and he always has pretty girls, you want to be his friend, dude. How are you getting all these pretty girls, right? And then if he tells you, well, this is what I do, this is how, you know, you might like, well, I can't do all that, or hey, I like that. But admire people's success, especially other Black men. Don't be jealous of other Black men. Don't be jealous of other Black people. Be envious. Be admirable. Be excited about their success. Okay, and then figure out how they got there and what you can learn from that. All right, one more thing I want to take us through, and then I'll hand it back over. This is a simple one. Productive actions actually produce productive supportive goals. So negative actions, negative production of actions, negative productive actions, they get to interfere with our goals. So that means if you have a test tomorrow, or if you have a research paper, or if you have a quiz, or if you have a game and you prepare, you eat well, or you take your time, you get a good night's sleep, that's productive. If you stay up playing on the video games all night, that's not productive. So just be aware of that. Positive thoughts, negative thoughts. Positive thoughts, they result in choosing of productive actions. Don't have negative thoughts. Don't think about what you can't do or what everybody else is doing. Think about what you can do and how do you make it work. Think positive. You know what? This is going to be a struggle. I like this. I can make this struggle. This is a good exciting challenge for me. This is something new. I'm excited about this. Let's make it happen. And then ultimately, here are the three things we want to know. Must successfully navigate 3 steps. You know what to do. That's the knowledge. You got to have the knowledge. You got to know what to do. So if you don't know what to do, you need to stop. You need to stop. So let's say I want to ask you, Jameer, I want you to build me a model rocket. Have you ever built a model rocket?
No, sir.
Okay. So the first thing you got to do is go figure out how to build a model rocket, right?
Yes, sir.
And you got to get excited. You're like, oh, you know what? I don't have any idea, but that sounds pretty exciting. If I say, hey, let's build a model rocket, we're going to go down to Galveston and we're going to shoot it out. You're like, hey, that'll work. Or we'll go to the mountains in Oklahoma. Who knows? So you got to get the knowledge. You got to know what to do. You got to know how to build a model rocket. Do all the research. Get the knowledge. You're like, I got the knowledge. Now you got the commitment. You want to do it. Now you want to do it. You realize if you don't have the knowledge, you can commit to as many things as you want to, right? You know, I would love to be a World Series poker player. You know, I would love to be on TV playing World Series of Poker, but I don't really know how to play. But I really want to do it, you know? And so, but I got to get the knowledge. I really want to do it. And then guess what? You go do it. You see how much easier that is when you have the knowledge, you have the commitment. Now you just go do it. And you can take that to anything in life, from learning a new video game to learning a song, to learning a language, to learning how to be better on the SAT or ACT, or just being a better person. Get the knowledge, get the commitment, and implement it. All right, that's all I want to talk about from personal growth mindset. Growth mindset means you're always looking to take the challenge, to do something stronger, to do something better. Have positive thoughts. Don't worry about the negativity. Be positive against anything. Admire other people's success and figure out how they got it. Be inspired by it. Motivate them, encourage them, and want to be. I said, want to be like Mike, right? But let's be a good person to that person. And then ultimately have the knowledge, the commitment, and the implementation. All right, Kevin, I'll stop there, see if there's any questions.
And could you go back to where you had your fixed mindset, growth mindset chart? Are there any questions for, and I keep calling Brother Smith, but he's actually Dr. Smith, so.
Oh, Brother Smith is you, man. That's okay. I know what you're saying.
Any questions for? All right, well, let me, yeah, Jameer, do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
so,
Jameer.
would you say that that there's any benefits at all from having a fixed mindset? Like, I'm not saying it's like a good thing or a bad thing, but any benefits at all from having a fixed mindset, or is the growth mindset just blatantly superior mindset?
Well, so the answer. Let me answer your question. Let me answer the second one first. Growth mindset is definitely more superior than fixed. There could be benefits to a fixed mindset when let's take the obstacle one, right? Let's say that you have an obstacle that is something that could be dangerous to you, or could hurt you, or to kill you, or let's say you're trying to get into a place and a police officer is telling you can't go in. It's probably okay to have a fixed mindset and turn around and give that one up if that's if that's a situation, right? So there are probably situations where fixed mindset is not bad, but the growth mindset is ultimately superior. Now, here's the best part. You have both of them, and you're going to act in both of them. My charge to you is, when you realize that you're working in a fixed mindset by, I don't want to do this because I might fail, shift over to the growth mindset.
Okay. Thank you.
Yo, great question. Great question.
Any other questions? So a couple things, and probably of all the things that we've covered a lot of things over the past few sessions. This is probably one of the most important. And again, it's something that you should keep and utilize, not only when you're in high school, not only when you're in college, but that should be utilized really for the rest of your life.
Right.
And so, just to kind of piggyback on some examples from what Brother Smith was saying, you may have been, a good student or a good athlete, or someone, that plays an instrument. You may do something very well, and you may have a teacher or coach, whoever, tell you really how good you are, and compliment you. And part of that growth mindset needs to be, well, and particularly someone that's an instructor, a teacher, a coach, someone that's instructing you, or a mentor, you need to ask them, well, what else can I do better? Because you're not perfect. Whatever you're doing, you can be the best, trumpet player, but you're not perfect. So you want to ask. Part of that growth mindset is asking, what you can do better.
Right.
And it's something you want to keep the rest of your life. And so I'll tell you a real quick story. I'm fortunate that my mother is still alive. My mother was born in 1928. So you can kind of do the math to think about how old she is and all the things that maybe she's seen in her lifetime. My mother gets on the computer, reads every day, researches stuff, on the internet, shops on the internet, knows how to use her cell phone, can text, and do video conferencing with their grandkids. And I can tell you what, there's not a whole lot of people in their 90s that typically, but she's always had that kind of, learning growth type mindset. So I would encourage you, think about, and, so I'll start with you, Devin. What is it that you can do differently as you're going off to college to really kind of embrace a growth mindset?
I would say, have more interest in like different type of classes I would take, because I know some classes, like for engineering, it's like okay, you read the description of it, you don't want to take it, then okay, you have to take it if you want to do this major. So you just have to be open-minded. It's like, okay, I can get through this class and pass with an A.
Oh, that's fantastic, because that first concept was fixed because it's too hard, I think, but the growth mindset is, I definitely want to do it. Nope, great job. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
So, and Noah, whether you're going into college or going back to high school next year, what's one thing that you can do kind of embrace your growth mindset?
I would probably say, hold on. Let's wait. I'm talking.
Right.
I would say, as far as like research papers, and quizzes, or like even homework, let's say I get like a lower grade than I expected, maybe like, like the guy said, an 84 maybe. I wouldn't look at it as like, dang, I failed. I would look at it as like, how can I get better? What did I do wrong? How can I improve on the next time?
Okay, good. So
Excellent.
One other thing I will offer to you, particularly as you're going into college, or when you go into college, take advantage of meeting other students, and particularly, maybe meeting international students, learning about their culture, learning about their ways, and because there typically are a lot of international students at different colleges. Take advantage of that and have a growth mindset and learn, and I had a good friend of mine, and, he would come by and say, hey, we're going on the international circuit tonight. And we go international student, and, we'd have dinner with them, and, we'd get fed because we were poor college students. But, it was a great way to learn, about people that were different than myself, people that maybe I had never encountered before from places I had never, been. Take advantage of that.